In this Nuage tutorial, I'm going to show you the fader unit section control. And this is where you access all the different parts of the mixer. In other words, each channel has EQ, dynamics, the aux sends, routing, all those different sections of the mixer you access using the section control on the fader unit. So we're just going to take a quick look at that. So as you can see here, I have two channels, two audio channels, and up above them on the screen you can see all the various sections of the mixer in the Nuage mixer display. And what we're going to use is the section control here to access each part of the mixer. So to begin with, if I hit the EQ button, now you saw the display show all the EQ parameters. So now we have access to all those different EQ parameters. The EQ is 4 bands, and these numbers up here allow us to access each different portion of that section. For example, in the EQs, there's 4 different bands, so we can access them by pressing the corresponding button there. Okay, so to give you another example, let me go to the aux sends. There's 8 aux sends, so now there's 8 different possibilities for the sends section of the fader unit. And if you're noticing here, the knob set will follow whatever part of the mixer I am selected on using the section control. So if I go back to the EQ, when I'm on band 1, now I have control over that EQ band, and the knobs down here make adjustments to the EQ. We'll go into this into more detail, but I'm just trying to show you how to access the different sections of the mixer using this section control here. This is a super important part of the fader unit, something that you're going to use every day all the time, so it's important to understand how it works. Okay, but so let's just step through things. We've got the EQ. We've got the dynamics section. And the dynamics section on the screen will expand to show however many dynamics are turned on on that channel, depending. Then we have the inserts. We can step through all the 8 possible inserts. So if I had a compressor inserted on one of these inserts, you'd see it here in insert 2. Then of course I can open that up and edit it. Moving along, if we go to the cues section, there are 4 different cues in Nuendo and Cubase, and you can access them here, allowing you to create headphone mixes for people in the studio. We also have the pan control, and as you can see here, one of the pans is a surround pan, the other one is just a regular left-right pan. We also have access to the routing, if we're going to route the the channel to different outputs, and also the input too as well. If we have microphones that we're going to record with, well, we can pick the input here depending on what we're recording from. You could even record from the talkback mic if you want to. Okay, then we have the pre-section. The pre-section is where the high and low pass filters are here. Also where there's the slope for the high and low pass filters. Then there's also phase reverse and input gain. On pages 3 and 4, if we had a remote control preamp, such as a Rio stage box, or maybe even the HA series preamp, connected to the Nuage system, then those parameters would show up here. Now on this last one here, quick controls. Right now, it's not accessing quick controls. As of version 1.7, we have more sections in the mixer than we have buttons on the Nuage fader unit. So they have now become programmable. I'm showing you the default settings, but that last settings for quick controls no longer opens the quick controls. It opens the VCAs. And what we can do here is get rid of this label like that. And we can actually replace that with a label that says VCA. So now, let me get that on there. So now when I hit that button, you can see the VCA section up here opening and closing. It's not connected to anything right now, but that's how you get to that section of the mixer. In order to program the section control buttons, you have to access the Nuage Fader setup under Devices. So let me call that up and show you what it looks like. So here we have the section control tab. And now you can see we have a mirroring of these buttons right here. Inserts dynamics EQ, pan sends cues, VCA in this case, pre and routing. Now if you click on one of these buttons, now you can see all the possibilities for each button. And they're all the same. So you can reorder the section control so that the buttons are exactly the way you would like to see them. So whatever you use the most, some people use quick controls a lot. You could make quick controls down here in where I have the EQ position set up so that they're very easy to get to. This is part of the customization that you can do with the fader unit. Just one of the ways you can make it more user-friendly for your workflow. So that's how you configure the buttons using the fader unit setup from the Devices menu. And we've stepped through all the sections of the mixer using the section control. And of course, on each section, there are various pages or various slots, depending on what the section is. And you can use these buttons up here to access the different parts of each section. So there you go. That is section control on the fader unit, the Nuage Fader unit. We'll be back with more tutorials.